Great. All right. Hey everyone, my name is Kim Carr. I'm the executive director and the co-founder of now called Digital4Good, hashtag I can help. So we wanted to be able to have this event to be able to kind of go over where we're going for the 2025-2026 school years with our programs. So please reach out if you guys have any questions, but I want to make sure you do that. If you guys are new to our company, we are a nonprofit 501(c) organization. We've been around since 2013. We started off with hashtag I help, and then companies kept asking us, hey, well, what do you help with? We make Digital for Good. So legally, we had to change our company name to Digital for Good. And then underneath that is our three pillars of I can help. I can help educate, I can help engage, and I can help empower. So with that, we have over 250 students who help us out to keep the conversation going because the Educate is our curriculum, it's our courses, it's our trainings that we do. Everything we make is made with students for students because technology is constantly evolving, constantly changing. We've got to make sure we're having students' voices helping us decide on what is happening, right, on that end to have that cutting edge information. And then engage all of our engagement of having active webinars, having active social media. Everything you see on our YouTube channel, on our Instagram, on our TikTok, on our Facebook is actually made by our student team. So all the different graphics that are made and videos that are made is made by our student team. And then the last one is the empower, right? We want to empower them by having mentors, having student leaders who are there doing those different things. This is kind of our roadmap to kind of getting to success, that we get your school community to be using Digital for Good. Because the data is showing these numbers keep increasing every year. The interesting thing I always tell people is if you look at it, underage drinking has massively decreased. And the reason why is because we started educating students, right? Teen pregnancy has massively decreased. How come? Because we actually educated students. So now is the time that we need to start educating students around, how to use their devices and use it for good. This is not going away. This is a part of their daily lives, 365 days of the year. We need to start educating them on how to use it correctly, right? So these numbers can start changing. You can even see, just kind of have an idea here, right? At least one type of cyberbullying issue with students is 46%. That's half. It's getting to be half of students are getting some kind of issue with that. 30% of them are getting some offensive name calling, 22% of them spreading of false rumors about them, 17% of receiving explicit images they didn't ask for, 15% of constantly being asked where they are, what they're doing, or who they're with by someone other than their parent. 10% of them are getting some kind of physical threat, and 7%, yes, are having explicit images of them shared without their consent. So what we always tell school communities is if you can decrease your online drama, you can then decrease your on-campus drama, which then decreases your discipline, which then creates a safer and happier campus. And that's what we're trying to go for. The other one is, yes, state in the United States, here are over 40 plus 40 plus states are trying to do some kind of legislative laws around social media protections, right? 18% of them have passed some kind of a state policy. If you can see, 3 of them actually did statewide restrictions on cell phones, right? So there's more policies that are coming. They're making these changes because of all the issues that are happening and protecting our youth. The other one that's interesting too is 22% of them have created some kind of AI guidance, right, in place. This is huge because AI is massively taking over, but we need to make sure we're having policy of how it should be used, equipping the students for responsible use of AI, right? That we're teaching them how to use AI for good. Again, using digital for good, that we're teaching them of how they can help use it, still use it and use it for good, right? Is what we're trying to do. So these are all the ISs. So what we actually created with the Missouri Admin Association, we saw this as a problem. We kind of just sat down like, hey, what are the issues you're constantly dealing with, right? What's all this online drama you're having to deal with? We listed all the online drama, started mapping this out because students do best when they actually understand policy and they understand know the why. Like, what if I do this, if I make this choice, do this, what's going to happen to me? Because a lot of admin, like a student was doing it, like they were filming a fight. And the admin were just having to go like, oh, interrupting school, school hour and education, instead of it being like, no, you filmed a recording a thing. Here's your first offense and here's your second offense. Like students to understand the why can't I record? Because think about it, this generation, like something big happens and a big audience comes over, like they're trained to pull out their phone and go live. They're trained to pull it out and record, right? Like it's just teaching students of when they should record and when they shouldn't record. So that's what we've developed. This is all free, by the way. We even have free policy around AI, what schools have developed. And a part of this free resources, it's there so you can take a look to see what you guys should be adding into your school community around policy, since all these states are changing their things to be able to have that. All the tech companies are being sued, right, because of the policy changes as well. They're trying to show that they can self-regulate before it becomes a federal or a policy. And so Roblox is kind of a good example because they are 8+ is who's allowed to have it. And in the state of California, they did pass a law that by 2026, every single social media company has to verify their age, that they actually are 13, because you are supposed to be 13 to be on Snapchat and on Discord and on TikTok and on Instagram, right? How do you verify that? So what Roblox has done, they've taken the first step to do this. They are making it where it's like every parent has to be in charge of opening up the account. So all the new users, the parent has to open it up. They have to take a picture of the parent to confirm by facial recognition that it is an adult. They don't keep the picture, it just is taking a picture. The second verification is either a verified credit card or some kind of a valid ID, like a driver's license. They're doing two ways because a kid could easily go into their parent's purse, grab that ID out or that credit card, put it in, and it wasn't actually verified, right? So this is what they're doing to be able to have that conversation, because then also they can set up parental controls. So this is what Roblox is doing. I see if they're doing that, that's what these other companies are going to start rolling out here soon. A staff in right outside of St. Louis, Missouri, they actually took this 279 respond, right? Just so you can kind of see like, what's your greatest concerns to our district, right? For safety, when it comes to safety. And you can see the biggest one is bullying, right? Like 213 of them said, 76% of them said, bullying is one of their biggest concern. Then from there, it goes down to suicide, vaping, and then active shooter, right? 36%, because it is so real. It's like so much in the news, like at the 24/7 news. These are the fears of staff members at schools. So with that being said, once this safety director saw this, that's when he hired our programming to come in and do their entire school district to get everybody to feel safe, right? To be able to understand what they can do, what their next steps are, can happen. When we were doing other school districts, the same kind of a survey, the same results were there, right? So just knowing like this is a big concern. It is, the big issues are online on that end. I've been going into schools and pretty much everyone have a big page. And so this is a school district I service, and there's all kinds of, like, you can see it's like their school name, caught lacking, all kinds of pictures of students on it. There was at least 12 of these pages, because it becomes a drama thing. Like, hey, oh, this one's got 105 followers. How can I get, I'm going to see if I can get more. And so then this one got posted where it was another one, right? They had 85 followers. So it was a competition between two different students who are creating similar content around that. So we help school communities take down these fake pages, teach the students how they can make sure, hey, if you're following this, you're saying my name is and I approve, right? My name is, and this is something we should be doing. And explain to the students like, hey, why is this not helping our school? How is this not making sure that our school is in a positive, safe space, right? So showing them that even like taking pictures in locker rooms and public changing facilities and public bathrooms is actually illegal. You can get a charge for that. I actually had a conversation with the PE teachers because this is their area of space. So if someone gets hurt in their area of space, then the PE teachers are the ones who are liable, right? So getting everybody on the same page of like, we've got to do our part of watching for when phones are out, right? And when they're not supposed to be out, and make sure people do know that is a policy and understand the why. Right? Why can't we take pictures in public bathrooms and changing facilities? You just can't assume that they think they know why. You got to really explain it to them. And that's what our program does, is kind of helps you understand that. Here's 3 more posts of just like, hey, is it high risk? Is it medium risk? Is it low risk? And like getting students to understand like how devastating this is. It only takes 30 seconds for someone's life to completely change based off of a post, right? Like here's one that is getting attacked because she's feel like the students thought that she was snitching. There's 21 likes. This one had 23 comments. You can see there's 2 people in this bathroom. Definitely doesn't look like a compromising position. So even though you can't see their students' faces, I guarantee they're gonna be able to tell by their shoes. Like that's what you can see that the comments were all about the people's shoes. They're gonna try to figure out who those students are to embarrass them. 30 seconds, one post can completely change someone's lives, right? And even though this one didn't get any likes yet, it's revealing students' secrets, right? And it's devastating and it's impacting their lives. It's impacting them at school. So we need to start teaching students how to be digital first responders. That's where art comes into play. Because the other big one too is when students are making this, it is a pathway to violence. When they're making these fake pages, these hate pages, this is a pathway to violence, and we've got to start taking it down right away, get in on the support that they need so it doesn't levitate up to the attack, right? Either attack online, attack physical fights, school threats, all these things are leveling up to it. It starts off being this like funny thing online, and then it levels up. So we need to do those behavior assessments, risk around that. So all that heavy stuff. I just want to make sure I show you a few pieces of our curriculum so you can kind of see like how interactive it is, right? The engagement, making students and adults reflect how are they using their device, right? So one activity we do is make them say it like just hold up your hand. 5, you strongly agree. 1, you strongly disagree. 3, you're somewhere in the middle. If you're off the charts, you can give yourself a 10, right? But make them kind of think about it, right? Do they compare themselves to others? And then give themselves a score. And then turn and talk to their neighbors, right? Like the turn and talk kind of share. Hey, are you addicted to your device? Right? Do you agree with the statement? Do you disagree with the statement? You're somewhere in the middle. And it's good again for adults to see it because we as adults also need to reflect and figure out how we can change. It's everyone's responsibility. Notifications are distracting to me, right? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Negative comments online affect me. What if they're about your mom? Does that change your answer? You're trying to pull out that empathy in them because a lot of them are like, that doesn't bother me. But then once they say it's about your family member, that's when they change their score. I don't always show the full story online. How real are they? Right? Are they just only showing the best part? Are they sometimes over exaggerating to make themselves look better? I'm afraid to show my social media to my family, right? This is a big one. I need to work on not getting so upset when I lose, especially my gamers, right? I don't always report inappropriate behavior online. I have thrown shade about someone in a group chat. This was made by some high schoolers, and this is great for middle school. We do change these for elementary. I get a lot of people who ask me how young do you go? Honestly, 3rd grade has been probably the big that 3rd grade is definitely a huge is kind of where I would suggest. Some schools have asked to do 2nd grade. I feel like it is pretty young, but they had a lot of 2nd graders who were getting in trouble with their devices and how they were behaving on their devices. So I think it is dependent on your school district on that part. I've passively told friends I'm mad at them by ghosting them or blocking them, right? This is how they're communicating. They're not having courageous conversations to people's faces. And the last one is like, I need to work on not getting sucked into negative drama. Here's where that goal starts, right? Is that negative drama that starts. So again, we do change this to make this more elementary based, changing the questions. This one's mainly more high school and middle school based. We also, to keep them engaged, we do interactive activities where we actually have them get their phones out. This is a fun one to do, and it's just like, hey, in the text search thing, I'm gonna have you type in this word. Then you're going to have to search up that word and confess how many messages come up with this word in it. So you just simply hold up your hand, like if it's 0. If you think it's 3, think again. The top right, it might say see all. That means you have more. So you're busted. Click on that. If you have a lot, instead of counting, you just make a scroll, right? So again, this is where you have the students just hold onto their own phone. We're not looking at it, anything. It's just having that piece, having them confess. Second step is see their digital footprint. Everything is timed, dated, logged, located. Who said it? When did they say it? Where? Was it in a private chat? Was it in a group chat? Everything on your device is always time dated, logged, and located. Nothing, even if you delete it from my site, if I delete that text, it's not gone. It's still inside the device. It's on that person's phone that I had sent it to, right? Nothing ever just vanishes. It's always in your device, no matter if you've deleted it from your end. Anybody could have screenshot it as well, right? So making sure they understand that part. So for fun, we type in, and go ahead and do it with me if you're watching this, right? Type in WTF and then confess how many messages come up. Remember, if you think it's 3, look again. If it says see all or show all, click that. That means you have more. And then see your digital footprint. It tells you exactly who said it, tells you when they said it, was it in a private chat, was it in a group chat, and then reflect. Who said this to me? Who's toxic in my life? Do I need to myself out of a group chat, right? This is what you're wanting them to do. And then for fun, after we do this, I actually have them type in "I love you," because then it's like, hey, are we saying this enough? Is people saying it to us? Who's saying it to us, right? Make them feel that kind of ooey gooey thing inside, right? Like, ooh, that was so cute. Understand that, like, this is power. Your words have power. Are you using your power to hurt? Are you using your power, your words for healing? What are you using it for hurting? You have the power to either make someone's day or mess up someone's day. It only takes 30 seconds to mess up someone's day, and it only takes 30 seconds to make people's day, right? So getting them to understand that, and we have them reflect too of what they could do, of like examples of what chats they should be getting out of. So this is how we engage with them on that level. All right. Let's go over that. Another way to do it, this is to show you kind of elementary engagement. Since they don't really have phones. We do things like this where it's like, hey, is this appropriate or is this inappropriate? Right? Jade is in a group chat with some friends and is upset with Sophia. She creates a new group chat with everyone except Sophia and names it the real BFFs. Is this appropriate or is this inappropriate? Right? We walk them through that, and I think that's important to see. And then we'll even like put something on there where it'll be another one where it's like, hey, someone renamed the group chat to Sophia is awesome, and then like they're inviting other people. So we'll add that on there because we're showing them how they can be that digital first responder and make people's day. We've also been, because technology is constantly changing, our programs always add new things. So the past couple of years, we've definitely been adding more things about deepfakes. AI is definitely a real thing. So we talk about case studies, like here's 2 case studies. One is where middle school girls, we always made it look like they used AI to make fakes, them looking like these girls made nude photos when they didn't. They just took their headshot, used AI to make it look like they had sent nudes. Even though they were taken down, the boys got consequences. People still thought these girls made these sent nudes, like real nude pictures. The girls were so embarrassed they actually switched schools. I mean, that's again the power of it is. If you think this is messed up, we need them to raise their hand, and then it's like, okay, if your hand is raised that this is messed up, we need your help by reporting it, making sure, do you think this is real or think this is fake, right? Is this something you should be sharing? All these different things. And then the second one over here is on a teacher. They use deep fakes on AI as an audio, right? They made it seem like this teacher was racist by deep faking his audio, making it seem like it was him that actually said it when he didn't. They just used AI, which sounds very familiar. Students totally believed it. The teacher actually not only had to switch schools, even though it was proved that he did not say it, it was proven all these different things. He asked to be switched because he just didn't feel safe, because students were then now sharing, they were doxing him, which means sharing his information, his address up online. He had to switch schools and he had to move houses. Like, this is the power of social media. We've got to train students on how to be digital first responders, start having them realize, hey, is this real or is this fake? Is this something I should be getting sucked into? This negative drama, should I be getting sucked into it? Right? How do I actually help you decrease that? For fun, after we get done talking about something super heavy, we go into, hey, is this image real or fake? Right? Look at it. Did the Pope actually wear a big puffy coat? And whatever it is, what's your reason you think it is either real or you think it's fake? And yes, this image was used by AI. It is fake. And how can you tell? Because again, students don't know the pieces. So the first is, look at his hand. He's not holding onto the cup. He's just touching it with his fingers, right? The second thing is this cross. If you actually look really closely, Jesus's arms are not there. They're removed. And that's what happens when AI is being used. Something gets morphed, something gets changed. And then the last one is like the ring. Look at it, the ring. That's not his hand, because wouldn't be allowed to wear a wedding band. He can wear a ring, but it's on his other hand. So showing students like, hey, you've got to be careful on titles, on headlines. Like, things are fake a lot of the times. Like, it wants your attention to be able to get you to click on it, to get even just to cause chaos a lot of the times and havoc. That's what a lot of people are doing when they create this stuff. It's to get your attention, to either get your like, to get a comment, right? To get the followers. Sometimes it's to get money, especially some of these news reporters. They're purposely making headlines to get paid. And then the third reason is just to cause chaos. It really is. That's what a lot of people are doing it for, is just to cause kind of chaos. So we have proven results, pre and post data that shows that our curriculum, our programs are working when students, do any of these, when they're doing it, because it is engaging, because it is relevant, because it is, they can tell the student, the stories are actually, student stories. These are the big reasons why this curriculum this programming is working, and that we want it to be able to keep going, right? Afterwards, that students keep the momentum going. So what we've done this year to change it is we've created new packages to adapt to where a lot of schools are needing, because we're finding more schools are needing it, and to be able to make that bigger impact, but still also create that piece. Our first package is the virtual one, and actually I'm just going to click on it and go into the website to make it a little bigger for you. So when I scroll down, when this is on our website. So our first one is just the virtual one. Honestly, I'm having schools that are using this. It's still, people always like, no, I want them to come on campus. We've been having great success with the virtual presentations. They're still super engaging. It's actually nice because they're in their classrooms. So they're, the teachers managing it. And then that way they can still see the presenter, still having the engaging interactive pieces like question queue where a couple students come up, or the entire class does it. That's all set up. Virtual parent presentation is in there as well, because you want to get the parents on board. And then it's also curriculum. You get the curriculum as part of that package. So just know that is it's cost effective. It's way cheaper instead of having to pay for someone to fly in. Cost effective. We're finding that it's cost effective. It's actually super impactful. Everyone's on the same page across the board, and the engagement is still there. All those different things are 100% amazing, and it's working out. So the next package is where it's the digital incident response. We call it that one because honestly, it was a lot of these schools who were like, we're having major issues. We want someone to come in and help us, which I totally get, right? So that one, when you're having things on there, they want someone an expert to come in on their campus. So what this one's doing, it's same thing, the parent presentation. If you want it to be in person, the parent presentation, you just have to be an extra charge for staying the night, since it'll be more hours. We still give you the curriculum, restorative justice program. So if a kid does get in trouble, right, you can have them go take this course. I just had a school district had to do it because, gosh, it was like 65 kids who had shared a nude photo of somebody. So they made all 65 kids go take that course as part of their restorative justice. With this one, we even give you video courses to go over our social media emergency plan, which is free, but the video course just kind of helps you, like, how do I use it? Make sure you know how to use it. The admin, making sure you use your policy up to date, walking you through that, and then how do I actually go through it? So a lot of admins don't know how to do an incident, best strategies around that. And then how do you build trust and safety? It's a great course for your entire staff, honestly, to take, because you need the staff to be able to build these relationships in their classrooms, because that's when students talk to them about issues that are happening online that's affecting them in the classroom, right? And then what you're getting with the school-wide is you're getting the 1 hour school-wide presentations, which we do up to 3. And if you want to do a follow-up, we call them the I Will Help workshop. And then I think it's important that we even do like recognition, right? So that I did help. So like if you submit that you had somebody who did do something at your school, we want to recognize them. We recognize them either virtually, on our socials, that kind of things. With a press release, we want to make sure they have that. And then we also do consulting hours. All right, these next two are pretty similar. The difference is the digital change maker. But that one is school-wide, is you're getting the train the trainer model. This is how we're making a bigger impact. So I just give you an example. I just went out to Virginia and did a school district, and we did 10 middle schools. We trained them on the 4 PowerPoint presentations: safety, citizenship, literacy, and wellness. We train the students on the basically the why, make sure that they understand that, right? That they're drinking the Kool-Aid of the why we need this training. And then went into, okay, what are the issues at your school? so that we can then focus on that. So like one school is having major issues with, students were cheating on homework with AI, right? They're totally cheating. They called that to the attention. A lot of staff didn't know that, right? How bad it was. They were bringing up, people are definitely taking pictures without their pictures in locker rooms and bathrooms. Um, Even other things, like there was a couple schools are having this trend came back. So funny how trends kind of circulate, right? They were de-pantsing people, right? That was a trend right now. And so, hey, okay, these are issues. And if it's a trend, someone's going to record it, and that's super embarrassing if they're getting depantsed. So, hey, what can we do around that? Racial comments, there's always a big one that all 10 of those schools are having issues with. Um, Oh gosh. Oh, a lot of fake pages, like we've been talking about, like the fake pages were there. Especially middle school always does these ship pages. So we're teaching them of what they can do with those big issues. And then how can they turn our curriculum slightly, just change it slightly, gearing it towards those 2 or 3 issues they want to target. How can they gear it towards that? And I'll show you the script, but everything else is script rated, but then there is additional curriculum they can throw in if they want to, especially if they're wanting to target on a certain issue. You get the parent presentation, you get the curriculum that we've talked about before, and then you get all the video courses. And then, like I said, um, you would get this one is where you're on the same day. I would do a whole or I would do that training with them, right, on that piece, and then they're still getting that. So they're getting kind of what it is here. The difference is it's not the entire school. You're just getting it, just the student leaders, and then they're going back and they're training the students. So that's kind of the difference between these two packages. Um, because it's more effective because it's elongated. This one, the digital incident response, it's me doing it every year. This one, they can do it for 2 years. They can have the students can do it both years to get them on the same page. So you're cost effectively bigger impact because they were able to have 10 schools and not me have to go to every single school to save money on that end. Okay. But here's the fun thing is that school is now looking at, because they were so impressed how easy it is, everything's done for you, right? They're looking at updating it to this one, which is the district digital change maker. The big difference they're getting on that is I would do a virtual 1 hour presentation to all the schools. So all 10 schools will actually get a virtual presentation. And we just did it with 50 schools in a school district. And so the schools signed one. We set up however many times that the school district wants. They sign up by teachers, by grade level, however they want. And then those classes show up on the virtual thing. So we get everyone on the same page around the presentation. Again, the virtual presentation is working. But then I'm also coming out and doing what I did for them. I train still the student leaders so that they're able to do this as a follow-up piece around that thing. Okay. Um, so then we get in the book, you're getting these different pieces, even helping you with your implementation of your policy and best practices. So looking at that, we would help you review all those different pieces. Is there anything that you want to change? So that's kind of how we've updated this one to make it, and then really giving that you club support with all of our interns. So with that big package, this is what you're getting is all that support to make sure that you're continuing the conversation, continuing the work that your students are doing on that end. So just kind of breaking down those packages and just to kind of give you a little bit more around the train the trainer. Again, I highly believe in this program. It's been really great. Sustainable impact, right? The message continues beyond the initial training. Peer-to-peer education, so cool. Like this is a school that just did it. They had 10, it was 2 schools. So it was 2 private schools. One was an all-girls school, one's an all-boys school. They had 10 from the all-girls school and 10 from the all-boys school, and they were all juniors and seniors. The 10 of them went and spoke to the freshmen, all the boys and the girls, the 2 schools together. And then 10 of them went and spoke to went talked to the sophomores, and 10 went talked to the freshmen. So just super powerful to be able to see them have the courage to go do that peer-to-peer education. They thought it was super impactful. They listened to them, respected them, because then you're having ongoing engagement. Now you've got these 20 students who are like making sure that you're having that engagement there. Okay. The outcomes is recognizing social media trends to engage with students, right? You're now getting these students who are going to help you give you, like they were telling us like what the issues are. They're developing presentation skills, right? To be able to teach this digital for good. They're able to promote digital safety. Like they were already telling me how they're telling their peers, like, wow, I can't realize how much I'm actually calling my friends out in a respect. Then we're giving you customized strategies for increasing digital citizenship participation. I think that's important, right? So again, this is what it all includes. It's super powerful. What it comes with, again, you can see how it comes with like a whole package that the students have. Hey, here's your checklist, right? Every single thing you need. Um, Getting them to make their own story around safety. Like, hey, what is yours? Like I just had one student who shared that they went on vacation and they had posted and kept their location up there. And then people knew that they weren't at their house, and so somebody had came and did a really mean prank at their house. So what they learned was like, hey, it's okay to post maybe on your vacation, but maybe you don't tag where you're at, or you post after you're done with your vacation, right? So it's just those kind of simple things in real time that they're learning about safety and making them a personal conversation. And then once they get done practicing, it's kind of making them reflect on what they can do to change. And just so you can see, this is what the slide notes look like. It's telling them exactly their bullet points of what they should be saying. And again, we've got this where students ran through it with us. What we're working on right now is actually filming. We've had students ask, can we see a student actually doing it? So we're filming small clips of each of these segments. So if a student was, let's say a student's in charge of slides, I don't know, 1 through 5, we'll film that so the student can go back, see it, and then that way they can kind of know how to share that story, which I think that's pretty cool that again, that was student feedback they were doing. At the end of each one, so this is digital citizenship, it comes with I will help cards. So it's making them, you print these out, cut them out yourself, you pass these out, and the students then, hey, check one of these or fill in the blank. Which one are you going to do, right? So it's getting them to make those commitments of what they'll do once this program is done. This is also keeps going is because we do have a team. Like this team meets once a month. These are all either middle school up to college level. They meet once a month. They're more focused on the passionate side of it. A lot of them are joining us because they have been targeted online or somebody they know is targeted online. We also have a seasonal team, which that's all college students doing it for college credit or for experience. That's more the business side of things. But they also join because they are very passionate. They see this is a problem. We have club information. We want clubs to help it. It's all like we have it free up online to be able to grab, to be able to keep this going. Schools buy our shirts to have the positive messages. If they're training, they buy the digital first responder training shirts. One or the other, however you want to kind of view it on that part. So it's just fun to see what people are doing. We provide for our student. We want it to be a community where students can keep continuing to learn as much as the adults. So this is how we keep them involved, even with the LinkedIn trainings, because a lot of students want to learn how to use LinkedIn. But every month we also have a Students for Good, which is our Students for Good community events, where we bring the students who want to make things better in the world that they can kind of connect. And then Aaron Judge is our ambassador, so you can nominate students who are using Digital for Good, put the school address, and then he mails you a power band and recognizes you on the social media things. So I gave you a lot of information. Hopefully it's something about. So here is what we're hoping you will do is review the program packages, right? See which one's the best fit for you. Set a time. If you have more questions, set a time on my calendar to connect with me, and I can help provide those answers. And then look at your calendar dates to see when the best time to be able to book this program for next year is. We still have some open dates this school year too, just so you know. And then creating a budget to fit this program in the next next year. And again, realize the trainer model can be used for 2 years, right? So get them trained. They can then use it for 2 years, which is great. Some schools like having something come out every single year because we've really been able to decrease their school discipline every year. And the last one is reaching out to your local school districts to build that community, right? And then book together. That's what we want you to do, is because the more schools you get on the same page, the more powerful this program is. And then you're able to say, hey, I did help, right? So again, this is these 2 schools who came together. They built their community to make this happen. If you guys have any questions, like I said, please, there'll be a calendar link in this email. and set up a time, take a look. We're your people if you want to get students to be trained on how to use Digital for Good. You can't help, the question is you. So please reach out and ask. Thank you so much.